New recipes and preparing old favorites is the job of course, millions of chefs and kitchens around the world. Now, one place in Silicon Valley is making AI an actual ingredient. Mark New cooks up this report.
At Cloud Chef's kitchen in Silicon Valley, tech creates a recipe for precision.
As long as you see the green, it's good to go.
You know everything that's being worked on in this kitchen and what stage it's at.
Yeah, definitely. I can understand from here.
World-class chefs have cooked their recipes here before. Cloud Chef says their cameras, sensors, and artificial intelligence capture thousands of data points during each session, creating a digital recipe that even unskilled cooks can follow.
Even if you look at the best restaurants that you've gone to, they go through like immense lengths of training to just make sure that the quality that you get on a day-to-day basis is the same. It's really, really hard to scale recipes. And the idea is if we can teach computers how to cook, then you can use these computers to recreate recipes from the best chefs from anywhere else in the world.
And now it's time to put the Cloud Chef system to the test. I'm going to be the chef, and I'm cooking sorche pork or mustard pork from West Bengal. All I have to do is press start.
Yep.
Scan the barcode. Dropping in the, I don't know what ingredient that is, do I? It doesn't matter if I don't know what the ingredient is. I just have to keep following directions.
Using an infrared camera over here to determine the temperature inside the pan. And once the oil gets as hot as the chef took it to, it will ask you to do the next step.
After a number of steps, I'm getting close. Oh, the peppers, nice. Straight bottom of pan. It's watching me here, huh?
While you're doing this, there's a weighing scale below that's measuring how hard you're stirring. There is cameras looking at the pan, segmenting out where things are. I could see that we were monitoring the amount of fat that's been rendered out of the pork by the camera looking at how the size of the pork is changing over the course of cooking, and use that to make a decision whether or not the pork is done or no. And which is why you were seeing it was asking you to stir again and again to make sure that it has a clean reading of different angles of how this pork was.
Look at that. What do you think? Wow. I am proud of myself. Am I hired? Each chef gets paid a percentage of the sales of their dishes. And now there's an additional creative force at the table. The recipe for this chickpea dish was actually created by AI, with a human chef adding the finishing touches. Wow. Very unique flavors.
It has a bunch of traditional flavors in it, but it's unlike anything I've tasted before. AI can look at all of the recipes that were ever invented or discovered by humans and find out patterns from there and understand recipe creation or combinations and pairings and cooking in a way that is not intuitive to humans, but would have taken us another 100 years or another 200 years to discover.
While AI eyes the future, it may also help preserve the past. Nikhil started Cloud Chef because he missed the cooking from his homeland of India. He's even digitized his own mother's recipes, which can now be made exactly how he likes them across the globe. Mark New, CGTN, Palo Alto, California.
For more about this and different ways AI and other emerging tech is used in the food industry, Michael Wolf, founder of the Smart Kitchen Summit, as well as The Spoon, which is a publication focused on the future of food and food tech. Good to see you from Seattle.
Hey, great to be here.
What's wrong with the old way? Let me start with that. What's wrong with me coming to your house, having a barbecue, and us cooking up a good steak or a salad? Or what's wrong with the old way? Why do we need AI?
Nothing's wrong with the old way. I think people who love to cook, who are good at it, should just keep doing it. The thing that we have now is we're using AI to maybe create combinations of food, create new novel food inputs that we weren't able to do before. And really, 10 years ago, since Chef Watson started kind of mixing up and cooking things and creating new recipes, we started to kind of unpack how this type of technology can maybe accelerate new food innovation. But I certainly think that people are going to still do it the old-fashioned way for a long, long time.
I invested in several businesses, actually in your neck of the neighborhoods in Seattle, near Ballard, and it was sushi and coffee and so on. And one of the challenges was always the amount of ingredients and food that was thrown away at the end of every evening. And it's not just us, it's many, many restaurants and food places throw away a ton of food. Could AI help these restaurants do a better job of predicting and ordering based on demand to reduce waste?
Yeah, you've uncovered and pointed to, I think, one of the biggest potential benefits of using AI, including things like computer vision. We're seeing examples, for example, in Europe, where IKEA has reduced their food waste by over half using a computer vision AI-powered monitoring system, and to the point of like optimizing food ordering using AI to not just have a bunch of extra food that doesn't fit how much our customer flow is. I think that's a great application of AI.
You can't see this, but we're showing videos of what appears to be robots and machines essentially making food. And I'm starting to wonder, you and I know how hard it is to hire and find good chefs. And obviously there's turnover, and this is the crux of the F&B business. With these robots, they could make potentially, I guess, a bowl of ramen noodles or fried rice, or you name your favorite foods. There are some easy ones that robots could ultimately make, and I'm just envisioning you walking up to a booth, pressing a couple buttons, putting your credit card in, no different than a vending machine. How far are we away from this happening?
Well, certainly that's one of the biggest trends we've seen over the past couple of years in fast food. Almost every major fast food chain is trialing out some form of automation in the back of house. Some are trialing out in the front of house. And I think you're right. You're pointing to one of the biggest challenges is massive turnover. And in June of this year, we saw the first decline in 29 months in overall jobs available in the food service and restaurant industry, which may be like the beginning of a potential long-term trend where I think we're going to see more and more automation taking over some of these jobs that are dirty and hard. With regards to vending machine, we've seen like it's no longer our mom and dad's vending machine. We're seeing vending machines using robotics and new forms of automation to create fresh food on demand in very small and constrained spaces. And that's one of the most exciting areas as well.
Yeah, robots don't call in, they don't take sick days. One of the other things that we notice as well is when it comes to the delivery part of it, right? So you order something, it gets delivered to your house, and within that 20 or 30 or 40 minutes, the food somehow doesn't taste as good or as fresh. For whatever the reason, could AI or technology provide a solution to get fresh made food to your door faster?
I think it could. We're seeing increasing levels of automation and potentially robotics, even drones, being trialed out for getting faster delivery. I think that's when we talk about food waste, another big component of contributing to climate change is just the amount of like delivery of all these things to our houses. You don't need the saying is you don't need a two-ton car to deliver a 2-pound burrito. So if we can use automation to lower the carbon footprint for delivery, that's great. And I do think automation to maybe schedule and optimize faster points of delivery within that food delivery system, I think that could really add some benefits as well.
In my mind, I'm picturing these drones carrying a burrito, dropping it in the backyard of your house or mine. Look, it's not a secret that these service workers, and in a survey, 70% of them don't want to talk to people. And 70% of customers don't want to talk to other people, which is basically the service. Like, we don't want to talk to each other anymore. We want to be on our phones, right? And McDonald's, they introduced this several years ago, these kiosks where you walk up, you press what you want, and you put in your credit card, and you get a number. Then you stand there like everybody else, and you wait for your number to be called. That eliminated a lot of the Q&A because you don't ask questions. You don't get to ask any questions. You just press buttons, and you walk off to the side. Is that the future of food?
I think the digital order kiosks have added a lot of efficiency, and you're right. Like a lot of times, humans are prone to mistake. We've seen a lot of rise these digital touchscreens. The newer trend we're seeing is the AI-powered voice assistant at drive-throughs. For example, you may come up to a drive-through at a McDonald's or another restaurant soon, and you think you're talking to someone, but the person you're conversing with is something like a voice bot using generative AI to power it in the background. So I do think more and more the consumer-facing part of fast food and food service will be automation and AI powered. I do think there's always going to be a place for culinary experiences, particularly high-end dining experiences where we want that white glove, high-touch service, and that'll not necessarily ever be a robot or AI. It'll be a person. But there's those instances, like you said, where we want the fast meal, we're trying to get back to work, and increasingly I think that'll be AI and automation powered.
I absolutely love cooking, and I don't think technology is ever going to replace the passion that chefs have for cooking. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you very much for helping us on this interesting topic.